Hi, my friends. Welcome to this 2024 video. Three things caught my attention to make this video today. I had not planned at all to make it. The first one is a French video that I had spoken about on my Patreon called L'Instant X by Mylène Farmer, a French singer. And when I watched it again, I noticed the hour on the clock is 2:20 p.m., which is the 2 and the 4, which makes up 24, and X is a letter 24, which matches the title, L'Instant X, the X moment. The whole video is about the plasma getting inside our world. So this 220 shows the 2 and the 4. Could it be an indication that the plasma event will happen in 2024? In numerology, the 0 doesn't count, so 224 is 224. So with this number, we have electromagnetic discharge, which is probably what will happen during the plasma event. Then we have human extermination, Jupiter Lucetius, and the Society of Jesus, which is what I believe is running this place. And Jupiter Lucetius is Jupiter. And we saw in my first Plasma Apocalypse video that everything is linked to Jupiter and Saint Barbara. In this video, we see the plasma coming out of the sewer or storm drain. And also out of the toilets. I talked about this concept of the sewer in my last video about the flamingo symbolism in Leave the World Behind, and we saw the sewer symbolism in several movies. Here we have Wonka, and this movie is so linked to the plasma apocalypse. I'm working on this video. So Wonka is moving under the city through storm drains. This is exactly what It the Killer Clown was doing, moving through the sewer system. I think that his red nose, his red hair, and the red balloon symbolize the red plasma, and the red sky, red Kashina. And we also saw the pink plasma, the river of slime, in Ghostbusters. Note that the river of slime has the same color as Wonka's coat. The slime that we see in Ghostbusters is similar to the foam we have in the Mylène Farmer's video. Another interesting detail in Mylène Farmer's video is that it shows New York. And most of the movies about the apocalypse, if not all of them, take place in New York. And this is because New York represents the Big Apple, that is the torus field of the Earth. And of course, the river of slime in Ghostbusters 2 was in New York. So she sings, c'est l'instant X qu'on attend comme le Messie, comme l'instant magique, which means this is the X moment that we've been waiting for, like the Messiah, the magic moment. And in my Plasma Apocalypse video, I decoded Messi, the football player, who is scripted as the Messiah and is linked to this pink color, representing the plasma during the Plasma Apocalypse. Here she says, humeur killer, which means she is in a killing mood, and this is what happens with the pink plasma or the red plasma. It comes inside the dome to kill. This red plasma, the red sky or red plasma, is represented by the Santa Claus. This is why she mentions him. Papa Noël, quand tu descendras du ciel is like Father Christmas, that is Santa Claus, when you come down from heaven. It is also interesting that at the beginning of the song she says Bloody Lundi, which means Bloody Monday, Monday being the day of the moon. Is this a reference to the blood moon? There is a partial one on March 25, 2024, but the next total lunar eclipse is on March the 14th, 2025. Interesting date because it is a Pi day, 314. But speaking about an eclipse, everybody is considering the date of April the 8th, 2024. But this is a solar eclipse, and it forms an X with the trajectory of the past eclipse of August 21st, 2017. But let's go back to the song. In it, she mentions le cycle infernal, which is the infernal cycle. So she refers to the cyclical nature of this reality. Then she says, c'est l'hécatombe, which means it's the hecatomb, it is a massacre. Hecatomb in ancient Greece or Rome was a great public sacrifice originally of 100 oxen, and in general it means an extensive loss of life. Hecatomb means bloodshed, butchery, crime, killing, mass murder, slaughter, slaying, warfare, annihilation, extermination, and we had human extermination with 224, so I don't think this is a coincidence. And hecatomb reminded me of the goddess Hecate. And in Wikipedia we can see that she was often identified with the goddesses Artemis and Selene. Selene is a moon goddess, and she served as a representative of the harvest moon. Then what follows is very interesting. She says vernis qui craque, which means cracking varnish or cracking nail polish, but I feel it is a reference to the dome cracking. And right after that she says asphyxie. This confirms that she was speaking about the dome cracking. Because when the dome depressurizes, there will be a lack of oxygen and it will be very difficult to breathe. And then she says, pied dans la tombe, which means a foot in the grave. And right after that, she repeats the Santa Claus chorus. This picture here is from one of her concerts where she was singing this song. We see the X and an arrow. The arrow is a symbol of thunder. And in another concert, this song started with this image, and it looks like the Looney Tunes symbol and also the picture of element yttrium. The second thing that caught my attention that is linked to 2024 is a scene from Back to the Future. Big shout out to Carolina Ardamzak. She posted a scene from the movie to show the pink hoverboard and another scene from the first movie. And I thought, wow, so much symbolism in a 2-minute scene. So I wanted to do a little post about it as I found the link with the X. But finally I decided to include it in this video instead. This hoverboard, apart from being pink, is from Mattel, the same company that made Barbie. So it's definitely linked to the Plasma Apocalypse event. The beginning of the scene shows the amplifier that exploded. and this could represent the broken dome. So Marty receives a call from Doc, and he asks him to meet him at Twin Pines Mall at 1:15. Well, 1:15 would be 115, and this corresponds to element Moscovium. And look at the symbol of Moscovium. It's an X. So this is showing us that we are speaking about the X event. And with 115 in English ordinal, we have the Demiurge, Morpheus, the god of dreams, and evil clown. But we also have this very important expression, the Armageddon. So this is telling us that the X event is the Armageddon. Then Doc told Marty not to hook up to the amplifier, because there's a slight possibility for overload. And here we see overdrive. Overdrive is 118 in English ordinal, matching Hill Valley and Hell on Earth. I don't think it is a coincidence that Overdrive matches Hill Valley and that this name was chosen in the movie. And in continuation, you're going to watch 4 slides from my Barbenheimer Decoded Part 2 video that you can find on my Patreon. Hills Valley matches the matrix in 11 different ciphers. This name is very strange because it is an oxymoron. It cannot be a hill and a valley because they are the opposite. So this is a reflection of the duality of this world. Also, the vowels don't count. So hill and hell are the same, especially as we saw that it matches hell on earth. I think that valley is also a code. Val is from Valentine, that means Cupid. In the previous slide, we saw an advertisement saying Holt's dinner service. And we can see an arrow, so it must have something to do with Cupid. And now that I watched this scene again, I saw a detail that I had not noticed before. So here we have it, the Cupid connection. And by the way, I just noticed something else that is very interesting, and it is a big synchronicity, that this link was posted on my comment section. The duration is 2 minutes and 24 seconds, which is the 2024. And remember, we spoke about the 224 linked to the video of Mylène Farmer. But let's go back to this 118 linked to Overdrive and Hill Valley. When the DeLorean vanishes from the past, it almost crashes into a movie theater where we can see the title of the movie, The Atomic Kid. And The Atomic Kid is also 118. The 118 is very important in this movie. Hill Valley, Overdrive, The Atomic Kid. I don't think it is a coincidence that they chose this time. The Storm is also 118. And here is what I have about Cupid also linked to the 118. As you can see, it is the atomic mass of element tin. Cupid is the god of love, and god of love is 50 in Chaldean, matching element tin. Tin has an atomic mass of 118. just like Hills Valley. And there's more to it. Cupid is also Valentine, and we have Val and Tin. Cupid in French is Cupidon, and Don is the donut, that is the torus field of the earth. And in Cupid you have the word cup, that is the symbol of the earth itself. In the tarot, the cups are the hearts, and Cupid is shooting a heart. Heart is an anagram of earth, and in previous videos I showed that the earth was a heart. So to me, this is a representation of something shooting the earth, and the arrow is probably the thunder. Another reason why this year could be the year of the apocalyptic event is that 24 looks like the symbol of Jupiter, and Jupiter is a storm god, and also because 24 is linked to the X. This word overdrive reminded me of the movie Maximum Overdrive, and this is the poster. And as you can see, we have the symbol of lightning bolts. Here we can see the symbol of AC/DC with the lightning, and it's all about electricity, alternating current and direct current. And in this movie, we can see the Green Goblin I've been speaking about for years. Goblin is 59 in English ordinal, matching Shiva. Shiva is linked to the destruction. In pi, 59 is linked to the 44, because 44 starts at the 59th digit. And with 44 we have the word destruction. In my last video I spoke about the connection to the Barbenheimer movie and the famous sentence, "I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." 44 matches element ruthenium. Lord Shiva is 32 in Chaldean. And with 32 we have double X. 32 matches element germanium. Germanium is 101 in English ordinal, matching the atomic mass of element ruthenium. And here we can see the number 8 that represents the time loop we are in, and the infinity symbol, the beginnings and endings. Here we can see the doc telling Marty that everything's gonna be all right as long as the car hits the wire with the connecting hook at precisely 88 miles per hour. And here on his side you can see Elite Barbershop. Barber is linked to Barbara, so we would have L light, which is the light of L. The instant the lightning strikes the tower, this whole symbolism is directly linked to the Tower Tarot card, and of course to Saint Barbara. This is why they showed him with the barbershop symbol. We saw in my previous videos that Barbara is represented by two tarot cards, the Tower and the Queen of Cups, and that the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Hearts. We saw in the Barbie movie that Barbie represents Saint Barbara, and the whole movie is full of hearts. The Queen of Cups tarot card is card 48, that is 2 times 24. And here we have our 224 that we've talked about earlier. And also 2 times 24 is the double X, as X is the 24th letter. The Queen of Hearts has red hair and actually looks like the evil clowns and it the killer clown. So I think that red hair symbolizes the red sky. The Tower card is 48 in Chaldean. So we have the number 48 linked both to the Queen of Cups and the Tower. And it has to do with the Deus ex machina. the X machine that plays God. In Maximum Overdrive, we have this evil clown with red hair, and this probably is a symbol of fire and flames, and also red plasma. And it is something evil that possesses machines and electric appliances, and it is a killer. One could also say this represents solar flares, and they also use the symbol of the lion's mane to represent the same phenomenon. So I just checked Evil Clown and we have 115 in English Ordinal, matching the Armageddon. And everything we saw before in Back to the Future. And the time Doc asked Marty to meet him at Twin Pines. Twin Pines represent the two magnetic mountains, anode and cathode, on each side of Mount Meru. Double X is 83 in English Ordinal, matching element bismuth, and this element has the symbol of an 8, the 8 we see at the gas station in Maximum Overdrive. What is interesting is that in Back to the Future, because of the overload of the amplifier, Marty was sent backwards because of the electric discharge. And here I just noticed that we have this number 8 too. We also have an electric discharge in Maximum Overdrive, in which we see this man pushed backwards. So this is a slide from Back to the Future, and it's very interesting because we have this device measuring the temperature of the firebox. It indicates that there is something generating fire. And when it enters the red zone, Doc said that the boiler would explode. And we see the explosion of the boiler on the train. And it emits fire and pink plasma. We can clearly see this pink color. Many people have been posting pink skies lately, and the color looks exactly like this. Here we have two things. We can see the electricity running through the plasma and a plasma beam, and we can also see that the DeLorean pushed by this train is reaching the end of the track, and this symbolizes the end of times in this timeline. And from there the train falls and crashes in the valley and is destroyed, but the DeLorean made the jump. And this represents where we are now. In other videos and posts, I explained that the DeLorean represents the Earth struck by lightning, which seems to be what operates the resets. This train has the number 131. 131 is the atomic mass of element xenon, and this element has the symbol of a lightning bolt. And they really insist on this number. It is shown everywhere, on the front, on the side, here. So I'm sure they wanted us to notice it. And this is exactly what we saw in Maximum Overdrive with the AC/DC logo. Amazing, it is exactly the same shape. It's all about the lightning bolt under the Thunderdome. In the first movie of Back to the Future, Doc said, "Marty, I'm sorry, but the only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning." 131 is the 32nd prime number, matching Lord Shiva and Double X. 131 is also the sine and cosine of 741, and this is Lucifer's number. The double X corresponds to the Judgment Tarot card, and we just saw the 741, and it is the 38th triangular number. And in alchemy, 38 is element strontium. And we can see that its symbol looks like a nuclear blast. And Judgment Day, as they write it in the Terminator movie, is 38 in Chaldean. So is it what is going to happen? There sure is a lot of programming everywhere, and not only in this Terminator Judgment Day movie. If you like the content of this channel, please consider becoming a Patreon or supporting my work with PayPal. Decoding and investigating is indeed a full-time job, and you have no idea the amount of work there is behind to make a video like this one you just watched.